Hey guys, Steven here with Cabinet Startup. I'm here with Corey out of Texas. How's it going, Corey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you jumping on the call with us. I like your background. For anyone who's watching, that's actually their logo. It's pretty sweet. You move to the left a little bit, they can see the whole thing. That looks awesome. That's sweet. Texas Cabinet Coatings out of Texas, taking over the whole state, right?
That's right.
Well, awesome. As everyone can see, this is Corey with Texas Cabinet Coatings. He went through the Cabinet Startup Program, and he wanted to jump, or he was willing to jump on the call, and we'll ask him some questions and let you guys know kind of what the program's about and give you a chance to see what his experiences were like. So maybe we can kind of start off, Corey, with telling people kind of where you were at before all of this, what you were doing, and what your life was like.
Oh, I was a quality control engineer at a roofing company that makes shingles. I was just day to day going in there. I'd make sure the shingles were okay and up to quality standards before they went out the door. Some changes in my life happened, and I worked there a while, and I just lost interest. And I'm the type, if I'm not giving you 100% or giving myself 100%, I'm out. It's not fair to them. It wasn't fair to me. So I decided to go another route. I started looking for franchises, and I had a 401k thing, a little bit of money there. So I was just debating what I should do. So I was looking. I bet I looked at every franchise out there, and I came across the Cabinet Startup, which is not a franchise, and that's what I liked about it. That's what drew my attention. I was like, whoa, I can run my own company, cheaper than a franchise. I have full control. I'm buying us into a successful business model. Steven, you are awesome. I mean, you got it, man. You got it. I think you're very smart. You've got a very good head on your shoulders, and this program is just awesome. I mean, we came to Orlando, me and my partner, and she jumped right in there with me. And her job is my office manager, but we agreed that if she was going to be the office manager, she would get her hands dirty and train exactly how I was training. That way, if she ever had to go out in the field, she could get her hands dirty as well. So, I mean, starting out with an office manager and someone to collaborate with is mucho bueno. I mean, it's just, you can't compare it. I'm not trying to figure things out myself and go with I bounce things off of her, she bounces things off of me. So it works.
So you're kind of looking into franchises for a while, and then you decided you didn't want to go the franchise route. How'd you actually come across Cabinet Startup?
It was just internet searching, I believe.
Yeah.
You had some stuff out there. It might have even been in one of the Facebook ads.
We probably had some Facebook stuff going on.
So I came across that, and then watched a few videos, and I liked the fact that you actually traveled to potential, student's house, area, and helped them get started. And that's what grabbed my attention. I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. So I started digging a little deeper into it. And then I got a hold of, I put some information in, and Mr. Wilson gave me a call. So we did a little chatting and set everything up, and it just snowballed from there. It was on after that.
Awesome, man. Hey, you ended up flying out to Orlando to our training center over here. Maybe we could talk about you spent a week in Orlando, and maybe we could talk about a little bit how your experience was during that week.
Oh, that was a great week. We flew out there. I made a few reservations with the flight, the car, the Airbnb house. I wouldn't knock that for anything. I mean, I don't even think I'll stay in another hotel again, but those Airbnbs are just, but
easy to
anyway, it was just Monday morning. We just got straight to business. We got dressed, came over to the shop, and it was easy to find, easy directions, easy communication with you guys the whole time. I mean, there was nothing that hindered the flow of us getting to training on that trip. So we got into training and sat down, did a little talking with everybody, and you know, it was great. We got to meet everybody and every step of that process. I mean, going out on the sales call, sitting down, learning the back office stuff, going over the business side with you and getting pointers from you, and just, oh man, I was just soaking your knowledge up like a sponge. You got so much going on, man. So it was just a great experience. And, you know, working with Mr. Rarick, you know, him showing us the process and taping everything off and spraying and going through all that. Even the guys in the shop, you know, great guys, a lot of experience. They've got a lot of talent there. We were in the paint room getting pointers from some of them guys. I wouldn't say any of them guys know, you know, I'd say all of them guys at your shop could be trainers. You know, they're very knowledgeable. They don't mind it, you know, pointing something out if we're doing something wrong, or I wouldn't say wrong, but
an opportunity
for sure. And then you know, it was just so welcoming over there. So you know, and then leaving Orlando and getting done with the program, and then graduating and coming back to Texas, it was just a smooth transition, and y'all motivated us to a point where it's like we couldn't fail. So and then just the follow up is it's tremendous. I mean, it's compared to none. You know what I mean? I mean, it's unheard of to. I'll just compare it to a franchise. I buy into a franchise, I open a store, and then boom, it's my store. You know, and then I answer to a corporate. You know, that's another job. With you guys, it's just like y'all are there, but we're not working for you, and it's so great to get that backup when I need it. And those weekly calls are awesome too. I mean, it's full of knowledge, and if you have a chance to take notes, I mean, that's what I suggest. I do it every week. I take notes. I just listen. Excuse me.
Yeah. So you came to Orlando, you went through the technical training. We kind of set up your website. We helped you set up all your back office organizational software like the Trello and Joyce, and kind of started getting you started with your marketing going on. When you went back to Texas, what happened?
Got back to Texas. It was it just slowed down just a little bit. There was a pause because you know, we were just getting back to Texas and trying to figure out which direction to take all this. So I got back, I started looking for a shop, and I found a shop probably about November. We were down there in October. So I'd say a few weeks in between when we left and finally got the shop open. And then we went from there. I mean, it would just start. I just wanted to build a solid platform coming, you know, bringing that knowledge and that training. I didn't want to jump in the deep end without having that solid platform to build off of.
Well, I know you've had at least a few jobs so far that you guys have done. Maybe you can tell us how you were able to hire and train some people to do some work for you. I think you've hired a salesperson now. How are things going with your last job too? I heard it was a pretty cool story.
Yeah, we've done a few jobs. Actually, like the guy I have working for us, we actually did his kitchen as a training session. It was mutually beneficial. So we did that. And then we did a couple of jobs with paying customers. Did a vanity, which is going to lead to a kitchen and a master bathroom.
Great.
And then we're also going to get testimonials from those folks. The big job we did was Fox 4, DFW's Fox 4 morning meteorologist.
Like a local celebrity, right?
Yeah, it's a little celebrity status there. You know, we went over there, we talked to him, we gave him a good quote, and I mean, it was just like we clicked. Our personalities were good, so he called us back and invited us to his home to do his kitchen. So
Nice.
we got over there, and he was just like, "Hey, what can I do for y'all? Can I?" You know, we asked him to do a video testimonial. He was like, "Well, there's contractual things, you know, under a contract, they kind of own my image and voice. I can't give you a video, but I'll give you a letter of recommendation." And we were like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And from what you were saying, you got quite a bit of engagement on that post too.
Yeah, for sure. He posted it. He was really cool about posting pictures and mentioning our name, putting our name out there. He's got thousands of followers on Facebook. I believe he's got the max. You can only have 4,000 or 5,000 people that, you know, friends on Facebook. So I think he's maxed out on that, but you should have seen all the comments that were coming down off of that post. You know, people were like, "Oh, I want my kitchen done as well." You know, and who did this? And it looks so great. And so he was giving us some accolades there. And he was like, "Y'all jump on there, jump in them comments and put your name out there. If you've got a picture of your logo, put it out there." And he was like, "I've been in media for a while, and I know what works." And you know, he's giving us pointers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he was just so he gave us a testimonial as well, and we put that on our website. And,
that should definitely bring some traction your way and a lot of interest from what you were telling me. You had a good amount of comments on that post. And then you were telling us you started developing a network of other businesses in the area as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I hooked up with this an old friend that I found out that he had a granite countertop company. So I started talking with him, and he has multiple people a week, he said, that ask him about doing cabinets. So he said he would give us referrals and vice versa on that side. I also reached out to a cabinet door making company. They make custom cabinet doors. Just, you know, honestly, we drove over there, and I walked in. I didn't know these people, and I just walked in. I said, "Who owns the place?" And the guy was like, "Oh, I do." I was like, "Well, I'm Corey Bentley with Texas Cabinet Coatings. I'm here to make friends." I sat down and started talking. Nice. And you know, I was like, "This is what we do. We refinish cabinets and reface cabinets, and you know, I intend on having a lot of customers. You know, if we can form a relationship, maybe maybe we can all make money." You know, that's how it pretty much went. And I said, you know, "Can you show me a few samples of your doors that you make?" So we walked in the shop, and he was like, they had a big board that, you know, different types of samples that they do. And he was like, "Well, do you want some samples?" And I was like, "Sure." You know, I was just going with it. And he was like, "All right, well, give me about a week, and I'll have you one of each type that we make, a sample made." I was like, "What's that going to run?" You know, he was like, "Don't worry about it. It's on me. I'll give you a call when they're done." So, man, he called me and said, "Come pick your samples up." So I got about 8 or 9, you know, 12 by 12 samples of different style doors.
Oh, they're all different styles too.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to really help with your refacing jobs. Yeah.
One second. Let me show you.
Sure.
Sorry about that. I was a little unorthodox. But
no worries. That's awesome. You got them for free too.
Yeah. So get it where
you probably have to maybe just put it in front of your chest.
Yeah. There we go. I apologize.
Cool.
Yeah. So you got some of that, and then
nice.
Another door there.
Okay. Got some Roman arch.
Yeah, and then you know, the old.
Got some raised panels, some Ogie. They call it Ogie style.
Yeah.
That's
So, I
good.
mean, he just gave us a bunch of them and said, come pick them up. So we formed a relationship there with the cabinet guys.
They're
And
great.
I even went back and had I had like a dummy drawer face that I had to do. It was pretty messed up on that vanity. So I was like, let me test the waters on these guys, you know. So I just took measurements, and I actually took a picture of the drawer front, and he looked at the picture and he's like, oh, that's a quarter, you know, blah blah blah, and started doing measurements.
Perfect.
And he said, I'll make you one. I said, he was like, just give me $10, I'll make you one. So I went
The
and got
same
the
guy
drawer.
you told me that was giving you ridiculously cheap door prices too?
What's that?
Is this the same guy you were telling me that was giving you just really good prices on everything?
Yeah, the day I went in there and told him I wanted to make friends and talk some money with him, he
Yeah.
gave me a price sheet, and man, they're crazy low prices.
I don't
And
even want you to say the prices because I don't want to set bad expectations, but I will tell everyone that you have very, very good pricing on your doors. It's not common to get that sort of pricing, especially fixed pricing where it's like a per door price.
right.
So you definitely got a very good connection there. And
So,
who
and
knows? Does he have an in-house finishing department?
I don't know. I'm not sure on that on their internal operation, and I'm not even quite sure if they ship out across the country.
That was going to
So,
be my next question.
what's that?
That was going to be my next question. If he can send us doors too.
Right. So, you know, I could definitely check that out and find out and ask those questions.
Yeah.
You know, so we're just building those relationships around town, you know. And I've also my office manager, she has an aunt that's a real estate broker. So she invited us over to have a talk with her, and we're in the process of making these you know, brochures, business brochures, and she invited us to come in on these realtor brunches that they have, and it's just a small fee to buy into these brunches, but we set up a table and you know, put our material out there, and we get in front of these folks. So that's another avenue of you know, advertising.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's great.
if I can get face to face with somebody, you know, I can put on them, I can put the words out there.
Yeah, that's great. I'm excited to see how those brunches turn out because I think you were telling me they're actually with other business owners or other businesses that could potentially refer you as well.
For sure. They invite other contractors and businesses into those brunches, and you know, you network in those. And also the real estate broker, she was mentioning that they could put our brochure in with these realtors closing folders, that when they sell a house, they give it to the clients, and we have our brochure in there. Well, they're, you know, if they need their cabinets done, or they just bought the house and they want to do some cabinet work, well, we're first choice right there.
That's awesome. That's great. So, you know, it definitely sounds like you got some good potential lead sources in the works. So
We're working on it. We're working on it.
That's awesome. So what's 2020 hopefully going to be looking like for you guys? What are you excited for this year?
Oh man, I'm excited I'm just going to try to blow up, man. I don't want to go too fast, and I want to, you know, I don't want to step on my own feet here, but I'm just going to just keep it steady and keep it going.
Well, cool. You know, we'll be here to support you along that growth. And as you come across other challenges, we'll be able to learn more and more on how to effectively grow the business. So, you know, you'll have a good support team around you.
For sure. And anything that I come across that works, you know, I don't mind passing that along to you guys.
Yeah, that's what's awesome about those group calls. We all can kind of learn from each other.
Yeah, I like those calls. And
well, cool.
it gets us, it keeps us in touch. You know what I mean? We can touch base.
Yeah, definitely.
It goes a long way. It goes a long way because I like you guys.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, what's one thing that you kind of learned from the program that you weren't necessarily expecting, or that you were glad you really got some guidance and some help with? Any part of the business that you came into the program thinking you wanted special attention on, and you were able to kind of get that figured out?
I mean, as far as I liked how the business was just like put out there, and y'all
Yeah.
helped set it up, and just the whole process. I mean, it's I won't say it's an easy, it's work. It's not just, you got to make it work, but it's, if you do the whole process, I mean, it's just the results are just there. I mean, and there's so many people. It's just a very good niche that's there.
It's blowing up right now. Cabinet refinishing is, you look at HGTV, you look at what's in trend right now. Everyone has painted cabinets, and a lot of people want painted cabinets, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're the ones that can bring that to them.
For sure. And I've ran across a few people, that they don't realize that the option of cabinet refinishing is there. They didn't know that option was available. I had a guy call me the other day. I went and saw him. He's on one of my 3-day callback list.
Okay.
But he called me and said, "Hey, I need to. I want my cabinets darker and restained maybe." So I was like, I started talking to him, and I presented our process of painting, and I was like, we could do your cabinets in a nice, espresso color, and he was like, "What? Painting's an option?" I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, and I went into it with him, and he said he was getting new countertops, and that I was like, "Well, why don't you let me come over and I'll bring you a sample, and we can put it next to your, the granite, and see what happens, see what your wife thinks," and went from there. So.
Well, awesome. I mean, I guess kind of my last question, what would you say to anyone considering cabinet startup?
I would tell them, don't give it a second thought. If you want to own your own business, you want to get out there, and it's so easy. I mean, it's, if you put your mind to it and follow your program and your business model step by step, and just build that foundation, it's so easy. And you just commit to it and stay committed. There's going to be some times where it's like, what's going on? What did I do? But it passes. It really does. If you just stay committed, you'll start seeing the results. And I would say don't give it a second chance. Second thought. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, awesome. You have anything else you want to say to the people watching?
If you ever move to Texas,
Yeah, Texas Cabinet Coatings got it covered.
Texas Cabinet Coatings, come holler at me.
Help you run one of your other locations.
That's right. Hey, we everything's an option.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I appreciate the time, Corey. I'm looking forward to watching you grow, brother, and obviously we'll be here to help you along the way.
I appreciate you calling, and it's been a pleasure.
Awesome.